And welcome to the official video launch of the Handinaps competition, Twitter competition, founded by some of the people that are in this video chat. I mean, mainly it's from Graham. So we're going to walk through the people that are going to be in the video today. They're going to introduce themselves, and then I'm going to give us a run through of what we're going to cover. So we'll kick off with you, Graham Dan. How are you, mate? And who are you?
I'm good, mate. Yeah. So I'm Graham, also known as the form analyst on Twitter. And yeah, I guess that I'm sort of the brains behind this with the help from both Colin and George.
Perfect. So Colin, you got to mention before George did, so we'll come to you next.
Yeah, my name's Colin Horde, and many of you may know me as the chair of the Horse Racing Betters Forum. I've been following Graham as a form analysis for a few years now, and when he suggested this as a competition, thought it was a great idea, and more than happy to help out with some of the organising and behind the scenes work.
And then last but very much not least is George Hartley. Some of the Cheltenham regulars will recognise him. How are you doing, George?
Yeah, good, thanks, Dave. You're probably right that it is the least, though. That Colin's been doing all the graph work in the background, Graham's the brains behind it, and I've just been invited along for the video, so let's get cracking.
So I'll quickly run through what we're going to talk about in this launch video. I'm going to make the sections at the bottom on the YouTube thing so you can just skip to the sections that you want to look at, and we'll also crop up some shorter snippets that will stick out on Twitter as well. But considering it's £40, it's going to last you like 40 weeks of the year, you might as well just spend 40 minutes listening to us talk. So we've obviously done the introductions. We're going to talk about the launch of Handinaps, sort of how Graham thought about this idea, how it all came about, and sort of how it spiraled a bit, I think, more than anything. Then we're going to go through the sponsors. Graham's going to talk us through those. Then we're going to go through the prizes. So there actually is prizes for the league, the cup, there's monthly prizes, cup bounties. Then there's a little talk about charity contributions that's come out of this as well. Then Graham's going to tell us a bit more about the cup format, because I mean, it isn't confused, and there's been some stills that have been put out on Twitter as well, but just to clarify the cup competition. And then we'll talk about what we'll be doing and producing going forward. So Graham, we're going to hand to you. Tell us about the launch of Handinaps. How did it come about?
Yeah, so I guess that this kicked off from a tweet that someone had put up on Twitter that basically showed I think it was like the 42 heritage handicaps for this year. I guess I noticed the tweet, sent a quick message to Colin and George saying, that looks quite a neat little game that we could play. At that point, I was thinking about the sort of three of us playing that game. I think it was George that said that someone like James Knight would probably get involved, and there's probably others on Twitter that would actually like to play that game. So yeah. I guess we sort of thought then, well, there's a chance here we could actually have a small group. We could maybe put some sort of fee to play the game and have a prize fund, and we could also launch that game. I guess from there on, I think that Colin did all the initial work to go through each race and make sure they got dates and so on correct. I guess that things then paused as I fell ill, and at that point, I guess that launching this game was at the back of my mind, probably the back of Colin and George's mind too. As I started to get a bit better from my near-death experience, it started to dawn on me that actually we could actually launch this game, and instead of just having a small group, we could actually launch it on Twitter. So I ended up just writing this massive thread that Colin managed to take and put into a single Word doc that had all of these rules. I guess there was various things around points and how it would work and so on, which myself, Colin, and George all worked through. And we decided to sort of launch the game. At the time we launched the game, I think that we all thought that if we could get like a small number of players, we're sort of doing well here. We thought the game was very niche. And so I think it was George that put up the initial tweet at sort of 10 AM on a Monday. And we sort of launched the game, and the demand was just absolutely nuts, in the sense that we had nothing in place. So it was basically the case that we sent out, so we asked everyone to send us a mail that was interested in playing the game. I think everyone that sent us a mail, then Colin was doing the hard work to record their Twitter name, their email, and their name. We then sent an email out that said that you could pay by PayPal. George was sending out sort of mails, and yeah, the demand over the next few days was just absolutely nuts. We could not keep up with the demand, and it got to the stage, I think that Colin was getting to the stage that he couldn't do much more because the copy and paste job he's having to do from all these mails was nuts, to be honest. And I recall seeing a few DMs where Colin was basically saying no more players, in the sense that you just couldn't cope with the demand. So I think that we sort of closed the game. The sort of game was only, you could only play for the game for a couple of days. And yeah, just in that time, the email demand was just absolutely huge. So we ended up with 397 players, which is way beyond what any of us thought.
Yeah, that's right, Graham. We when we start off, we thought between the three of us, we thought we'd get 100, 150 max. And yeah, it was a great tweet by Lee Thruxton was the guy's name, and a shout out to him for the idea and putting that list of handicaps. But I have to say, even just getting the races organised was quite a bit of work, just getting that list together, and we managed to do that, and then work on the admin, and between us we managed to get it done. But no, it's a great response, and we're really looking forward to the game. It's going to be great.
Yeah, I guess the final thanks here would probably be to Matt Rushton at BetConnect, who got in touch and has really helped in terms of the creating the forum that we share on Twitter that people could use to place their tips. And without Matt's help, then I think the initial plan was we'd get everyone to send us a mail and we'd record the bets, which would have been a lot of work for us, I think. So a big shout out to Matt at BetConnect here, who's definitely helped things along.
Yeah, massively. And that's probably a reasonable segue to go into the next section. We're going to talk about some of the sponsors as well. But that's the thing with it, where you guys have looked at it, talked about it, and thought we might get a handful of people that are interested. Obviously, I'm not even massively interested. I'm not even really interested in the flat. But when it comes to a competition that's like this, when you can just see, especially with the reach that you three guys have got, that so many decent judges are going to get involved, because it's not just your average Joes that are playing. I mean, I'm in there as well. But there's some serious judges that are in this competition. So I feel quite honoured to be involved in it as well. I don't think I was the earliest entry, but I'd have been quite quick to get my point in there. But as soon as it starts to spiral with the number of entries going in there, all that manual handling starts to make you think, I can't believe we're doing this for 40 weeks. So it's good that he's done that. It takes the onus off of you guys as well, because you get people, I mean, I don't say that people are dishonest, but you get people pretending they've sent the email or made a mistake to chuck a couple of winners in later on. So it's all passed off to them. So anything else before we move on to the sponsors about the launch? George, from you?
Just another thank you to Matt, really. I think Colin was a broken man trying to sub all the emails out, so God knows what would have happened if we had to try and record all the bets and figure out the results ourselves. You've saved a lot of heartache there. Thanks, Matt.
Superb. Well, no doubt he'll get called upon later on in the competition when we need him for something else. So, Graham, shall we move on to the sponsors? You want to give us a bit? I mean, to be fair, you've said it beforehand, and it is correct that I think you suggest, or you put a tweet out maybe seeing if anyone wanted to get involved. And I think as much as you were overwhelmed with the response and support from like racing Twitter to get involved in the competition, the sponsors probably outdid that by quite some way, didn't they?
Oh, yeah. So I put up a tweet, and I guess my hope was that someone would get in touch and potentially put a few £100 in the pot here and become the sponsor for the game. The response we had was absolutely mad, in the sense that I think the initial ones that got in touch were BetConnect, and BetConnect were very, very keen to sponsor the overall game. And they'd sort of gone away, spoke to the team and so on, and came back. And the offer they came back with was great. So they're basically putting £250 within the prize pool. They're currently putting £250 towards the charities. They've also put a £200 on their head, in the sense that if anyone knocks them out the cup, that's a few £100. And they've also agreed to give away £1,000 in free bets across the overall game to everyone that plays the game. So again, BetConnect will decide the way that all works. But yeah, that's very, very, very good, I think. The thing I say about BetConnect is, if anyone can't get on and you want to be able to get a bet on first thing at a decent price, then go and look at the BetConnect site. I've dealt with BetConnect before. They're very, very, very good. And yeah, I think everyone I think there's been a lot on Twitter about how hard it is to get bets on, in the sense that it's very hard to get decent stakes on at a decent time. But BetConnect do give everyone the chance of sort of doing that. So it's worth going on and have a look at the BetConnect site. All right, I'll quickly run through the others then. So a massive thanks to Dave Johnson at Timeform who got in touch, and they've put up a 12-month pass worth £360 as a prize. Huge thanks to Matt Taylor at ATR who got in touch, and I've offered up 4 tickets to any race day that is an ATR course, apart from the Royal Ascot meeting. And they've also given away 2 tickets to the Cheltenham race in November as well, and that includes a ride on the ATR steam train, I think, as well. A massive shout out to Star Sports, who priced up the league comp, as everyone will recall, and any profits that Star Sports make will go towards the Macmillan Cancer Support, which is a charity that's really close to my heart. A massive shout out to Square in the Air. Bill from Square in the Air got in touch, offered up £250 towards the prize pool, but also all of the graphics and things that you'll see tonight has come from Square in the Air. So he's done an amazing job. And a massive shout out to Ellen and Alex at Square in the Air who've done all the work. I basically mapped out the way I wanted things to look, and they've gone away and they've come back, and I think all of the stuff they've done looks very, very, very good. So again, you can get across the Square in the Air site and see what they do. Peter Clark, our racing club, have offered a voucher of £250 towards the horse. That also includes being able to go and see the horse run at a track, and obviously you can visit the horse and so on as well. So I think that's very good. Total offer up £250 of free bets. So massive shout out to Jamie at the top. AK Bets have offered up £200 for a charity, plus AK has put £100 on his head in the cup as well, which I think is great. A massive shout out to Tony Keenan at Racing Trends, who contributed £250 towards the cash pool and isn't even playing the game. His view was that he didn't have the time to play the game, but to get in touch and contribute towards the game, I think is great. There's Racing Tees, which again you can go on and have a look at Racing Tees on their Twitter site, but they offer up their sort of merchandise that they sell, which fits in with the colours of your fave horse and so on. And again, there's a £50 voucher there, plus a £20 one, which is great. And we've got the trophies for the comp are being supplied by Roger Bush at Wester Country Racing, which again, great to have the trophy when someone wins, I think. And last but not least, Kieran Bet, who you've probably been doing some blogs on Twitter about in the last few weeks. They've offered up a few tickets to Perth, plus a £50 free bet on the day as well. So again, I appreciate Perth might feel a long way away, but given the fact that I sort of live in Perth, I think it's a very good course. And if someone does win that, you can also try and get a visit to Perth. The other thing I want to touch on, although no, I won't touch on now, we'll touch on it, but there's the Bounties that's on lots of heads here, but we'll sort of touch on that towards the next stage. I think that's it for me.
Yeah, superb. And it is like I say, it's overwhelming how many people get involved in it anyway. Like I half expect it as the outside fly looking on the wall. You could see that lots of people were going to get involved, but the sponsors did stag me when you sent me over the video and I started hearing the names of everyone involved. Not to say that you don't deserve to be chucked in there, but so many prizes, which leads us nicely onto the prize list, because from what you've just said there, as much as there might be 397 people in the prize pool, sounds like everyone's going to win some sort of prize. There's so much going on. So Colin, do you want to kick us off with the main one? This is the serious business. This is the title that everybody wants. This is the one that I'm guessing that the trophy will be for. Do you want to give us a little run through of the prize list for the league? Because again, like it's staggering how much is up for grabs.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. Yeah, no, the league prize is really special, and we thought this was the biggest prize, and we've aimed to have a bit more money spent on this than on the cup itself. And we're playing for about 15 grand in the prize pool that we've got. So if anyone sees me disappear off to South America, you know where I've gone with my PayPal account. But anyway, the money's safe and sound now, so be assured of that. So we've got in the league itself, we're playing for the first 10. So anyone who manages to get in the top 10 will come away with a prize. So the first, those in 9th and 10th, in 10th they get £40 and includes the 25 bet with the tote. In 9th it's £80 cash with 25 free bet with the tote. 8th, £120, £25 from Square in the Air. 7th, £160 in cash and £50 from Square in the Air. 6th, £200 with £75 from Square in the Air. 240 in 5th for £100 from Square in the Air. And then we're coming up into the top prizes there. 4th prize is £500 with £50 from Racing Trends. And then in 3rd, in bronze medal spot, you've got the £1,000 cash, £250 from Bet Connect, and a £20 voucher from Racing Tees. And in the runner-up spot, it's the £2,000 plus £250 PCR RC voucher and £50 voucher from Racing Tees. And then in first prize, we're giving away £5,500 plus the £360 of Timeform Pass, the 100 bets worth bets from the tote, and the 2 tickets from Perth, and the free £50 bet from KMBet, and of course the trophy kindly donated from West Country Racing. So fantastic set of prizes there for the league.
It's so good. I'm having to, like, I'm smiling as the prizes are being revealed from like reverse order, but it still makes me laugh that it costs £40 to get involved. It's literally nothing, is it? Considering it lasts for so long. So obviously, it's not just prizes of the league. We touched on there that the majority of the prize money has gone towards that. But George, can you run us through? Can you do us the prize list for the Cup, and then can you do us some of the monthly prize as well? Because that's one that I'm going to be interested in, because I start looking at horse racing in October, so I might win some cash then.
Yeah, I'll start with the monthly prizes, I suppose, first. It's probably more linked to the league than the Cup. So whoever scores the most sort of theoretical points in each calendar month from May through to October is going to get a bonus prize. So we try to stagger it. When there's more racing, you get more money. So in May, you get £100 if you get the most points. June's 150, July's 200, then it tails back off. So August and September are both £150, and October's down to £100 again. So the most sort of points in that month, you get that bonus, and there's an added bonus for whoever picks the most winners throughout the whole competition. That's a further £150. So the Cup's a great one for this, but even if you're out of the league or think you're out of the league after the first few races, there's no reason to sort of lose interest. You can still get your entry fee back and then some by hitting a few winners throughout these months. And then on to the Cup, which I'm sure for many of you sort of might be more interested in this, with the head-to-heads against some big names that you might be able to knock them out and be sort of a bit smug with all your friends and say, oh yeah, I beat so-and-so. So the prizes here, apart from the bragging rights, are for the losing quarter-finalists, £60 in cash, and then a further £25 from the great donation from Tony Keenan. For the losing semi-finalists, it's £200 in cash, and then a further £50 from Tony Keenan again. The runner-ups, £1,000 plus the at the races tickets for 2 people that Graham mentioned earlier, and then the winners £2,500 in cash, £100 free bet at the tote. At the races tickets for 4 people, sort of excluding Royal Ascot, as Graham mentioned again, and that trophy from West Country Racing, and you can put it in your Twitter bio.
Unbelievable. So there's 2 trophies that are up for grabs.
2, yeah.
Unbelievable.
I don't know if it's the same trophy or not, but we'll have to wait and see.
So it's unreal. I mean, I've even seen the slides and I missed the fact that there was another trophy for that, so I might try in both competitions. So you touched on a little bit there that you could knock people out and get bragging rights, but Graham, you've also touched on a bit. There's more than bragging rights up for grabs if you knock some of these scalps out. I did say that, like I say, you guys are well respected and there are some very, very good judges that are in here. Not all of those good judges have put a bounty on their head, but some have.
We've got 7 Cup bounties. We've got £200 from Bet Connect, as Graham mentioned again earlier. £100 if you knock AK Bets out. £100 for Nick Goff. £100 for Martin Dixon. £100 for Graham himself. £100 for Tony Calvin. And £50 for NFL Better. So you get drawn against any of those in the Cup, knock them out. It's an extra bonus to your prize pool.
And just to reiterate with those, they haven't been taken out of the prize pool, have they? These are people's, they've shoved their own hard cash in there off their own backs.
Obviously fancy themselves.
Yeah, they do, don't they? That's it. When it becomes more than bragging rights, you have to put a few quid behind yourself, didn't you? But again, it just shows that, like, everyone slates racing Twitter every now and again, don't they? But it does show like a community spirit within there. There's lots of good eggs that are out there. You just have to mute the ones that you don't want to speak to, and then hopefully make friends with the ones that you do. So that's prizes done. But Graham, we talked about the cup a little bit. Do you want to run us through a bit more about maybe not so much the cup schedule, but the format of it, how things are going, and I reckon as well, maybe give us some strategy advice on it as well.
Yeah. So, I guess the cup's different from the league in the sense that to progress in the cup, you've only got to score more points than the person you're playing against. All right. So the way the format works here is we split the 300, the near 400 players up. There's 99 groups of 4 and a group of 1. So the group of 1 will get a bye. The top 2 from each group will go through. So what we end up with here is everyone plays 3 games, and it's the person that scores the most points on each race that basically gets 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw, or 0 for a loss. So the way it works here is you pick your 2 bets for each race, you work out the profit and loss that you make, the profit and loss the person you're playing makes, and the one that has the most wins. Yeah, I think we'll probably see a lot of draws whereby if both people pick 2 horses who lose, then it will be a draw. Yep. And I guess there is a risk in some of these leagues that everyone just picks 2 horses that lose every race, which basically means they sort of end up with everyone just drawing every game. If that is the case, then there's a countback in place whereby we're going to base it on the person whose horse is finished in the highest place. Okay, so if it is the case that you've got the same amount of points as someone else and the P&Ls the same and so on, then it will be based on the horse that has the best place. Yeah, so if your horse has finished 8th from the 6 bets that you've had, and the next person in the league is best horse has been 10th, then the person with the 8th will progress to the next stage. So what we've then got then is top 2 go through from each group. We've already drawn the next round, which is basically the top against the 2nd place teams. All of this was done through me just hitting a button and the draw being made. So that will be shared. Beyond that though, it then turns into a typical cup game whereby there's a knockout round for each stage. And the plan here is that we will do live draws. Yeah, so although the group stage has been drawn and the knockout stage has been drawn, from there on in, it will be the 4 of us on a call, and we'll sort of be having fun doing draws, I think. So that's the way the cup works. I guess there's been lots of folk that DM me in the last week or 2 chatting about the cup. It seems to me that everyone thinks that they've got a better chance of the cup than winning the league, which I think it's because you're playing against the others in the cup. It seems a bit more fun, I think. So I guess the key in the cup is going to be scoring points. Yeah. So to be able to progress through, you're going to have to score points. Yeah. So I suspect that the strategy of the cup may be different from the strategy for the league. Again, that's just my own view. I'm sure everyone's got their own view here, but I suspect you may end up seeing a few more faves being backed and so on within the cup, because it's better to score points than not score points. Of course, the challenge here is, if it is the case you want to win the league as well and the cup, then you've got a balance to play here, in the sense that you want to be able to hit the prices that gives you a chance to win the league, but at the same time try and progress in the cup. So yeah, I'm sure we'll have lots and lots of fun as we progress through the cup, and it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. One final surprise from me, Dave. So again, Star Sports get a big call here, but Flynn and the team have agreed to price up the cup. So I recall the night that they priced up the league, and it's probably one of the funniest nights that I've had on Twitter, where it just went absolutely mad and everyone was placing bets on themselves to win. They've priced up the cup, and as soon as we release the cup draw within the next day or so, then the odds should appear. I've not seen any odds at all, so I have no idea the way the cup will be priced. I'm sure they'll base it on some of the bets they've taken on people to win the league and so on. But given the fact that everyone seems to think they've got a chance of winning the cup, it would be good again for the charity thing. If it is a case that folk want to bet on themselves to win the cup, then that's good news, I think.
Well, I'm excited about the cup as well. When it's things like fantasy football, all those sort of stuff, like George touched on, like some people may lose interest if they get too far behind in the league, mightn't they? But the cup's beautiful for it. Even those monthly prizes are just a super bonus. £40 to get in. I can't believe the value. So you touched on there that we'll be doing a live draw after the knockout round 1. So you touched on there is a round, then there's another round, and then it will be live video cup draw. That will start probably the end of May, I think, and that round 2 starts on the 18th of June. So we've got a little bit of time before that happens. Is there anything else we want to add before we finish this up?
There's 4 charities that we've chosen here to contribute some cash to. And again, I guess the charities that we've picked here are ones that are sort of close to the sort of 3 of us on this call. So we're going to be donating £250 to Macmillan Cancer Support. That's the first charity that I spoke to when I was told that I had a cancer last year, and they've been a great help. And as time goes on and I get towards the sort of end of my life, it's the charity that I'll be sort of working with. So again, that's sort of very close to my heart. I think that sort of cancer has probably touched lots of folk that are playing this game. So again, we're going to be contributing £250 towards Cancer Research UK. I guess the other 2 then is going to be donating £250 towards the Injured Jockey Fund, which again, I think they do an amazing job. And again, I think that we all understand the risk that jockeys take each time they go and sort of sit on a horse. So I think that charity is worth it as well. And the final one is we're donating £250 towards the retraining of race horses, which again, I think everyone knows that when horses reach the stage when they do retire and so on, it can be hard to find places for horses to go and so on. So retraining them and being able to get them to do different things, I think is sort of very, very, very good. And I guess the other key point I call it here is that Star Sports are donating any profits made from betting on the comp towards the Macmillan Cancer Support. So everyone that's placed bets on themselves to win the league and so on, if it is the case that there's profit made here, then all of that will go towards them, which I think is a very, very good cause. And I want to quote the fact that AK Bets has donated £200 towards this, and Bet Connect has donated £250. That's been great from them as well.
Fantastic. Right, is there anything from anybody else?
Very quick thank you from me to everyone that's entered and sort of being patient with the teething issues that we've had. You've all been great. I'm not sure 400 random people off the street would be as patient as you all have been. So please keep that, because I mean, hopefully there won't be anything else that might anger you, but you've been great so far. So thank you once again.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, and big thank you to me, and good luck to everyone playing. It's a great game. It's going to last all season, and let's have some fun.